Hey, what's up everybody? It is Daydreams. Welcome back to the channel for another video here in Clash of Kings. Today we have a very important topic. I was just doing a live stream. We had 50 viewers here at 5:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Did a late night stream. I was just feeling it, and I was going over some things that were worrying me about the game. The fact that they're phasing out people that have, like me, who have been, promoting these events like the playoffs for since season one, and they're trying to, they're trying to make people watch who they want you to watch, and people who are going to conform to things they want us to talk about. The people who aren't going to point out the flaws in the game. So, with that said, Steven hit me up during the stream and wanted to show everybody something. Now, let me go ahead and give Steven a quick introduction. He is a 1 billion plus power castle, someone who spent tens of thousands of dollars in this game. He's in the top 1% or 1%ers, so it's not like this is some free-to-play player who's bitching about something that they can't achieve. This is something that's achievable to him, but puts him. It almost feels forced. Like they put something in the game that is so forced for top castles to get. So, how you doing, Steven?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Didi, for having me in your video.
Not a problem, man. Not a problem, man. So let's go ahead and tell him what equipment set we're talking about today.
I was pretty much aware of this governor set which was coming out, but I anticipated the price that it would be pretty much within the same bracket of like the other equipments was.
Right.
If you just go out and through the governor set and show up
Yeah,
to
I'm showing it to
people.
him right now, and I just want to explain to people real quickly why this set is so important. Like, so for say Selma is often your governor. These are equipments that are going to give you governor type buffs. So it's going to increase the capacity of the embassy, maximum march size when joining a rally. It's
Yeah.
things to do with the size of your marches in these important battle situations, and for and when was this released, by the way, Steven?
I think 2 days ago.
Okay, 2 days ago. Now, guys, listen. Helix is a very intelligent company. Now, do you really think it's a coincidence that this equipment set was released during the Dragon Campaign playoffs, where the most condensed amount of top spenders are looking for any possible edge? And this equipment set is so important, guys, that without it, you really stand no chance against other people that have it. It's really going to put you at a disadvantage. So now you've got 32 teams that are left in the Dragon Campaign playoffs that have matches this weekend that they all have to get this. Wouldn't you say, Steven?
Yeah, first I would like to come to this is that like when we're talking about rallies now, like without the kingdom conquest, the person can rally up to 3.6 or up to 3.8 million. Now, when we are talking about like 3.6 to 4 million bracket,
That's insane.
then this 200 and 200 and I mean, if we go to the orange, this is the goal which we are seeing right now is 350,000 extra march capacity. So that means if 350,000 in your base march is somewhere around about like 350,000 to 400,000 if you have a base march, then add another 350,000, and plus 80% is your march buff, which you can easily get during the conquest day.
Right.
Till even time you get the packs where you have 80% march buff, so you can almost touch close to a 1.2 or 1.3 million march size.
Right.
Now, if you have 1.3 million march size, or even let's say close to 1.1 or 1.2, so the amount of players that you reduce in the rallies, which you don't require, and
Right.
perhaps can create more super rallies. So this is a must equipment for anyone that is looking for, but also at the same point of time it gives a bigger edge to bigger teams, like if we look in Kingdom 200 Mr. Knob, or if we're looking at
Yeah, BK1 or any of the
1314.
top ones. Yeah, any of them.
Now if 1314 is, it's a big massive advantage to them because they all have an average good decent stats that where they may not require a super rally. They can do it with a regular rally, like 350k, adding like
Right.
five members, 5 or 6 members, they can easily fill it. So they can, this set is gonna give them an option
Yeah,
to
you can fill these
do more
rallies
regular
with. You
rallies.
can fill these also. You can fill now that you have with this governor set. You'll be able to fill rallies with just your few top players. There's no more having to have filler castles. This is going to make it now to where you can have just a few people that can win these events and take things on. You know what I mean? Because you don't have to have people to fill in. It's just you have such big sizes that it's going to be insane.
Yeah, and it also gives you the privilege to do a regular rally instead of a super rally if you have your
Right,
stats pretty much
right,
higher,
right.
and if
Because
your rally
yeah,
is full.
that's
You don't need
exactly right. You
you
don't
don't
need
need
it.
a super rally.
If you have let's say 3 people that can join this rally or 4 people and they all have max stats, there's no need for a super rally because they all have similar statistics. So you're not going to need a super rally that's going to help these weaker P6s that have like 100 million, 200 million power that are just filling in. You're just going to have the big boys show up. So it's crazy. And we haven't discussed the cost of this. How much
Yeah,
roughly is the cost?
well, it's gonna cost somewhere in about like $6,400 for
Jesus.
this
US
one
dollars,
set.
right? American dollars? US dollars?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
That's crazy. So,
You need to have 64 packs of blue in order to turn it into a 6 gold pieces.
and there's been some expensive pieces of equipment and stuff in the past, guys, but the problem is, like, okay, problem is that this is such a necessity that it's, like, forced. And it's being released during the playoffs, so now all these teams are going to have to make a decision. Do I want to lose the playoffs, which imagine to be a playoff team, you've already spent tons of money. So you're probably going to have to get this piece of equipment. And then, you know, what's the most expensive um, equipment
But
set
more than
that
this,
that
I
good?
would say more than this equipment is important for the smaller kingdoms. If they had reduced the price of this equipment, the smaller kingdoms, the smaller castles, the mid spenders would be able to buy this. They would be able to fill in their rallies. A lot of people have got lower march capacity.
Right.
They may not have a bigger march.
Yeah,
They
it
may
would.
not be having. They may not be a big spender that using always higher buffs like 80% all the
Yeah.
time. They might use 60%, 50%.
It
So
would.
this will give them a boost to fill up their rallies. It would give them an
Yeah.
opportunity to even fight back.
Yeah, this would even be good for our server because we could have like you, Yamato, and Madi, and a few of the other people that could join these rallies and not have to waste super rallies and have to have people like me filling in with just these 5 troops. So, yeah, I know what you're saying there. That's
And
why
look at the
it's
cost
unfortunate.
breakup. A blue set, a purple set would cost you $400.
Yeah.
An orange set will cost you $1,200,
Yeah.
and a gold jumps up from 1,200 to 6,400. Look at the difference from orange to gold.
Oh yeah,
We're
that's
talking about we're talking about a 40,000 rally upper troop limit, and we're talking about another 100,000 extra mod size.
yeah, it's unfortunate. And you know what? Here's what like has me so upset. When the first equipment sets came out, like your obsidians and all these sets that came out, like back before P6 came out, you could grind monsters and you could grind items and you could achieve these equipments, and you could spend maybe a little bit here and there, or let's say for $100 you could get enough horns to make said piece of equipment. And you could do that on your main and your heroes, and you could get it right away for maybe like $1,000. You could max out everything, or you could grind it and get it in a few months. Stuff like this you can never ever grind. So that's what's unfortunate to me. But yeah, there's really not much more we can say about it. It's just something that Steven and I wanted to shed light on because it's troublesome when they're putting these like forced sets out into the game and forced things that you gotta buy or you're not gonna be at the top. So thanks for coming on, Steven. I appreciate it, bro.
Because who would make a difference when you're fighting in the Kingdom Conquest when your enemy has an edgy 350,000 extra rally upper troop to fill up the palace with another 350,000 troops? Maybe they will fill in with a Supreme Legion, which is after the new update, they have enhanced the troops.
Now, in order to have that edge covered up, you definitely need to compete with them. To you need to have it. So you're forcing the players to spend that much amount of money to to
Right. And
yes to
here's the
compete.
problem to me. Like, say you're in just a normal kingdom, and it's like, kind. I'm just. Oh my god. 1 second. Hang on. All right, everybody. I apologize for the ear rape there. Clash of Kings. You can see I have the volume off, but like you can't turn the volume off in this game. It still goes off. So that's my bad there. Um, Yeah, basically, if you're just in a normal kingdom, and let's say it's like a couple spenders against a couple spenders and a bunch of normal players, and it's a pretty good kingdom, if just one of them normal spenders decides to get the governor set, it kind of forces the hand for anyone else on the opposite team to get the governor set, because you'll be at such a disadvantage in Throne Wars, you'll lose your kingdom. So that's another reason why. It's a shame, man.
It's of course it's very much important because I'm right now we having a war. We're gonna have a kingdom conquest with a pretty much decent
Yeah,
kingdom, and
one
I'm of
second.
course
While
gonna.
we're talking about that, guys, I'm gonna be streaming that war tomorrow. I'm most of P6, but I have all P5 troops. I won't be able to do much in the war. I'll try to help in any capacity that I can, but at the very least, I'll be there to record the war. So I will have that content out for you guys tomorrow. But go ahead and finish what you're saying, Steven.
Yeah, I guess we have a pretty much decent kingdom conquest this time with 225. I have never faced. I'm looking forward to it and expected. Yet there are top floor players from that kingdom, and I would definitely expect that they will be pretty much maxed out. And with these new equipments, this is what makes someone think like when we are in 994 as well. So it's a curiosity as such to how many people are gonna grab this because it makes a big impact from tomorrow onwards in the Kingdom Conquest or be it in the Dragon Campaign Championship, that how much impact this equipment is gonna be. But I'm definitely sure about like the people who are spending. I would suggest them not to push yourself, but if you can afford an orange piece offset, that would solve your purpose at least for now. Not
Yeah,
being in
yeah.
as
Like if your hand is forced, if your hand is absolutely forced, and you're like, let's say you're someone that's already spent tons of money, you've got tons of friends in this game, and they rely on you. If your hand is forced, go ahead and buy, the orange one. Like don't go all out, and I mean only if you're just some filthy rich, like Ichi or Poppy type person. Do whatever you want, man. You made that money, but don't be pressured into buying it is basically what we're getting at. But thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna go to bed. Thanks for coming on, Steven.
thanks, bro.
Alright, guys, I'll see you tomorrow for the stream. We'll be doing this battle with another kingdom. What time would that start, Steven? Would it be a system reset?
Yeah, but we're gonna see how the war comes up. But we're
Okay.
pretty much geared up to have this interesting kingdom conquest with them, and hopefully,
Yeah.
whoever is the strongest kingdom, they win. All
Yeah,
respect to
it's gonna be
anyone
hard to
from
win.
P5.
Like, they're a good kingdom, but it'll be at 8 p.m. tomorrow, guys. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for coming. Much love to everybody. By the way, Steven, I just seen someone called Jim. I won't say his last name in case he doesn't want it said, but he's complaining on the Clash of Kings official Facebook page, which he got no reply, by the way. He's complaining about how it would cost him $3,500 to get the equipment set. So maybe his math's a little off, or our math's a little off, but somewhere between 3,000 and 6,400.
Can you come back again?
There's a guy already complaining about this equipment set on
Okay,
their Facebook page. He said it would cost
okay.
$3,400, but maybe
No, I
he's
don't
not.
think because if you calculate
Yeah, yeah. When I did the
the
math,
gold
it
set
came out to that too.
piece,
Yeah, the
yeah.
gold's
So
6,400, and you're not the first person to tell me 6,400. So I think his math's even off. It's even worse than what he thought. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna get off here before I make this video too long. Much love. I love you guys. Thanks for coming to the streams. We're gonna be streaming Clash of Kings, making Clash of Kings video content. Even though the developers don't like us and they're trying to blackball us, we're not going nowhere. Make sure you go over to their Facebook page and tell them to send us some tickets so I can get you guys some great content. And yeah, much love. Peace out.
They said it's pretty much gonna be interesting if we get a ticket. If we get a ticket and post it live
Yeah,
for the match of
hopefully.
TVB because
Yeah, that's what
they're
I wanna
gonna
watch.
use the max.
Yeah, that's that. It'll be good to break that down.